We are live. I think we're live. Yeah, I think we're live. What up, yo?
Yo.
What's up, everybody?
Hello, Internet.
Rated M for podcast. I'm your host, Drew. I'm joined by CJ and Rory down here.
Yo.
CJ is...
Oh, I didn't put my thing up.
CJ, a.k.a. DJ Payday. There's a lot of A's. Is now our latest addition to the permanent crew staff lineup thing here at Rated M. Pretty excited about that. Are you excited?
I'm pretty fucking pumped.
It's good to have you, CJ. It's good to have you.
I love it here.
I love it here.
I want to go to there. Sorry, I'm putting my tag in.
Oh yeah, no. If you go ahead, man. Go ahead. So while you're doing that, I'll let everybody know. So I want to remind everybody who's watching this live, or if you're watching this not live, too late. At the end of this episode, we're going to be giving away a code for Forza 5 for the Xbox One, and we'll be asking a Halo trivia question that will not be the most impossible thing in the world to figure out.
I want to win.
If you
It should be card trivia, man. It should be card trivia.
Yeah, no, I know, but the person who produced the code is a pretty big Halo fan, so I'm trying to do him a solid and, integrate that. If nobody gets this, then we're definitely doing card trivia or something, or like the first person to raise their hand on the internet or something.
Mm-hmm.
So the first correct answer will win. To be eligible, you have to join our Facebook group over at Rated M. So it's facebook.com/groups/ratedmpodcast. If you hopped in the pinned thread, the top thread, and just be in the chat in there, I'm going to ask the question. The first person to answer the question correctly in that chat will win. We are not going to have this like stupid disjointed thing for much longer. I'm going to figure out how best to do this so that we can all be together on a Twitch chat. Hopefully next weekend, maybe. I think what I'll do is stream this from my computer in a Skype call with you guys through Twitch. And so then everybody can join us on Twitch and chat in there on the screen, so we can it's all at one place.
Yeah.
Will they still see my face?
Hopefully.
Oh, okay, perfect.
That's the plan. But I gotta figure out how to do that. I'm sure I'll figure that out. No problem. I know people who do that, so I'll just ask them.
CJ's not here to really voice opinion. He's here just to get some good face time. That's what he's about. Are you
all
gonna see my face still?
Are the bitches gonna see me? I'm trying to get bitches.
Will they?
I'm pretending to like games for the ladies. Okay, cool.
For the ladies.
So that is the plan, guys. What's up, everybody over in the Facebook chat? I see that somebody's watching us, so that's good. That's all that matters. As long as somebody's watching this, and I'm not just talking to myself, I'm happy. Whatever.
Well, Drew, you're never talking to yourself. You're talking to me. What? What are CJ and I here, huh? What are we here?
No, I'm glad that
Job
you guys
deliver.
If this was just me talking to the internet, this would be terrible. I've thought about vlogging, but I can't do this by myself. I need someone else to interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. Rated M for Podcast is brought to you sort of by Capital City Gamers, maybe. I don't know. We're also gonna figure out this whole website thing. We're just kind of going, and this is only episode 6. We're still learning. So we're gonna start off with what you're playing, what everybody's been playing over the last week. CJ, since you're the new guy, technically, we're gonna go ahead and kick it off with you.
Far Cry 3 and Borderlands 2.
Good answers. Finally.
I got a capture card, so I started playing Far Cry 3, and I fucking love it.
What do you love the most about it?
I love shooting the shit out of people as they're driving at me.
I love throwing out the C4, like just tossing it out there and exploding.
I haven't
it
gotten
midair.
good at that.
It's a lot of fun. Hiding in the bushes.
I never even get into I probably spent 1% of my time in a vehicle, and already it's the second time I talked to CJ about the game in just brief, and he's mentioned driving in the cars, man, shooting people out of the cars. I'm like, fuck that. I was always.
I love diving out of the cars too.
Sneaking in the grass, picking guys off.
Well, now let me ask you this, Rory. Did you fast travel a lot?
Rarely.
Okay.
You just
fast travel
nowhere. It?
I trekked it, man. It was like Skyrim in the jungle for me, man.
It's like Skyrim with guns. Come on. It's like Skyrim with guns game.
Yeah, I missed the quote. Yeah.
Oh, that's the famous Machinima quote. It's Adam Kovic from from Machinima, one of the first times they ever saw the game, he just kind of like flippantly said, "It's like Skyrim with guns." And every trailer, every like promotional thing for that game was, "It's like Skyrim with guns." And
well, it's true though.
I mean, the story's not there and stuff in the sense that, like, I mean, the story's great. I mean, but you don't have all that extra story detail that Skyrim would have. But the fact that, like, the world was surprisingly gorgeous, it was huge. I watched a little bit of CJ's, playing through it on Twitch, and it just reminded me how fucking good that game still looks.
Yeah, man.
That game looks awesome, and it's intense, and it's dramatic, and it's like, yeah, that game was so good. Game of the year that year.
I love diving out of cars. That's hilarious. Honestly, I drive off cliffs. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Dude, I was one time.
I'm just gonna get where I need to be, and hang gliding. That is the tits.
I was driving up to a cliff with a hang glider on it, and I was like, "Oh, I should take the hang glider." And I just dove out of the car, and the car like flew off the cliff, and I could hear it like.
That's awesome.
I'm like hang gliding, and I look down, and I see it like rolling down this hill, and then exploding at the bottom, and all this smoke coming up, and I was like, "Oh, I guess I should have." Oh well.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude, that game's a lot of fun.
I hope Far Cry 4 has a good co-op.
So
I heard this one wasn't good.
Oh, co-op. Okay, so the co-op is essentially like a super stripped down, dumbed down Left 4 Dead thing where you and a couple other people are running through an area and you're just trying to get from point A to point B. It has an interesting story, like the premise is interesting where they were on a cruise ship and like somebody betrayed something somehow and like the guy running the cruise ship like wrecked the ship or something. And so these people are survivors and they're out to like get their money back or take revenge or something. Right. So it's not just people running around killing each other like for no reason, but it feels like that. It doesn't like it's not fun. It's not Far Cry 3 co-op. It's just the co-op element of Far Cry 3.
All I want to do is.
So tell me about your time with Borderlands. We played a little bit.
Borderlands
that was awesome.
Is another awesome game.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time finding time for it, especially because it's a long string of work now.
Yeah.
But I really want to play it again. In fact, I might play that tonight, like after the podcast.
Let's do it. I'm down. Totally down. So is that it? Just those two?
Is that all I'm playing? I'm playing a little Connect Sports Rivals.
How's that going? How many pounds have you lost so far?
I don't know. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm whatever shape I'm in. I mean,
how's the scan? Is your avatar or whatever look like you?
Yeah, he looks all right.
But I'm not asking you if he was.
No. I mean, he looks fine. He's pretty accurate, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm on the screen.
Yeah. It's not.
I wish it were. That'd be.
It's not Rainbow Six. But... Remember the Rainbow Six face scan thing? Like Vegas. So in Vegas 2 for multiplayer, they integrated Kinect in that Kinect would scan your face, and then this like horrible mishmash version of your face was wrapped around the character model of your multiplayer ass. It was terrible.
No, hang on. Let me see, because I think I took a picture of it for my buddies. Let me see if I can bring it up to the camera.
Oh, okay. So what's your favorite activity in Connect Sports Rivals?
It's got to be bowling.
Mm-hmm.
Soccer's
electronic bowling is the best application.
Yeah, I mean, but who doesn't want to bowl with their friends?
I guess.
Because, like, there's multiplayer. Like, I can invite like whoever into my party.
What's up?
So like, me and my buddy Steve could be like hanging out and like, hey, let's bowl together. But we don't have to go anywhere.
My cat's
because we're lazy pieces of shit.
No, even with Connect Sports, though, man, I used to play online bowling with a buddy, too, and that was the greatest thing, because you would just be sitting on your couch, casually, maybe you're partaking in some stuff, I don't know, while you're playing, but it's just super, super chill.
All right, so let me see this guy. Oh, that does kind of look like you. That is ridiculous. That really does kind of look like you. That's awesome.
Yeah, so not bad. And rock climbing. That's fun.
So yeah, does that work? That looks kind of interesting. I like how
like literally all you do is like you reach up and like you close your hand, bring it down, go up with another.
And there's specific points, right? I like the idea
And then
of
sometimes
it
you
gets
jump.
complicated, right? You get like some of them. So like if you're competing against someone else, like while you're doing that,
Yes.
you can time it so that
It
like
can get
some,
intense.
yeah, some of the points
And you
get
can rip them off and
electrified.
shit, which is great.
Wait, what? That's
Yes,
awesome.
you could rip people off the wall, which is amazing.
Dude, that is so cool. I mean, I don't think it'd be. I just don't imagine it being fun. But it's a cool idea. Somebody will enjoy that. And
Yeah, no, I played online against a couple of my buddies, and it was
no
fun.
shit. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so what about you, Rory? What have you been playing this week, man?
I played a little bit of NBA 2K14, played a little bit of Forza 5. Mostly I've been playing Trials Fusion, though. I picked that up, and I've just been, constantly hitting the restart button over and over and over and over again,
How
trying to
is
get
that?
those gold medals.
So Mark Anthony in the chat says that Trials Fusion is so frustrating right now. Is it frustrating you, or is it worth it? Is it a lot like the fun type of?
Well, it depends.
restarting?
I really enjoy it, and I'll tell you, like, if you get to a point where you can't master the bikes, then you're gonna fucking lose your shit, no question. But like I've beaten all the tracks and medaled all the expert tracks and stuff, and I've unlocked the master class tracks. And those master class tracks, that's where I've got to the point where it's like, it's beyond my skill level. They're beyond my skill level will ever be in that game, because I've like maxed out at my skill level in Trials, and they're just, I can get on one track, I can get like maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 markers in after fucking 100 restarts, and then the other master tracks I can't even get past the first few jumps. But I've medaled everything up and finished the expert stuff, and I'm just working on gold medaling everything now, and I've got mostly gold medals except for the expert tracks, which are all sitting around bronze and a couple of silvers. But
Wow.
it can be frustrating for sure, and I
Yeah.
can see how most people probably would lose it before I have. But once you get so fucking rewarding, like once you've been like working over this part that you literally think is impossible, and you finally get it, and you're on the next checkpoint, and you just keep working your way through. I enjoy it, but I like putting myself through some pain.
Yeah.
I can imagine would be extremely frustrating. That's how I was with Trials HD.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you've been frustrated in the past, then you'll be frustrated again for sure.
See, that's
And I'm still thinking about picking it up. That's
Yeah.
the sad part.
It's addicting, and it's good to have a buddy next to you. Just like I had a friend over last night, and we just kept passing the controller back and forth. I kept showing him some of the crazy stuff, and there's some neat secrets too, like that are like just really bizarre. Like there's these 20 squirrels that you can find, and sometimes when you
What?
find them,
squirrels.
yeah, they're like
Squirrel?
these evil squirrels,
Uh-oh.
and sometimes when you find them, these pretty like interesting and wacky animations play out. You have to wait for a little while, but sometimes like if you fall down a cliff in the right spot, and you wait long enough,
Yeah, I've heard about that.
the day, yeah, it'll change to nighttime, and then this ominous van will roll up, and a little squirrel will come out and fucking like bury you and chalk outline you, and like there's like all kinds of weird shit, man. And some of them are harder to do than
CJ, your face right now, dude.
others.
I'm very interested in this now.
What fucking game are we talking about right now?
I'm
Right.
going. I found 10 of them.
Did I miss something? Are we still talking about Trials?
Trials, yeah,
The
totally.
motorcycle game, right?
I found 10 of the 20, and I plan on. I'll Twitch. I'll let you guys know. I'm gonna Twitch the last 10 that I hunt down, so you can see
Cool.
what that's about. But like, it's messed up, man. Like one of them, you have to go at the very beginning to like reverse to the back of the course, and then you light up a green light, and then you go forward to the first ramp again, but don't go over the ramp, and then you'll see the lights change from red to green again. Then you go back to the
You
first.
lost me at green light. I don't.
Then you
like,
go
that's
back to the
crazy.
first green dot,
Right,
and then
right,
there's a
right.
secret ramp there now, and then once you land on the secret ramp, all of a sudden there's squirrel tokens, and now you have to do the whole course without crashing and collecting all the squirrel tokens, and like there's all kinds of crazy
Without
challenges.
crashing?
Yeah,
Absolutely
That's
not.
crazy.
yeah, it's intense.
That is intense. That sounds intense.
Now,
But-
there's one reason why I don't want to buy that game. They have multiplayer, and I can't play friends online.
Wait,
You
what?
can't play what? Why can't you play Friends Online?
There's no online multiplayer. It's only couch co-op.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't notice that because I was playing the multiplayer last night, and
Yeah.
I was like, anyway, the multiplayer though is not great. What is great about the multiplayer is in the sense that like it's like SSX and other games like Most Wanted and stuff like that, where you've always got like a ticker going. So
Right.
every time I'm fucking playing that game or I turn it on, I got a notification and somebody on my friends list. And there may have been people from the podcast group, but like every now and again I turn it on and it's just like so-and-so's beat your fucking score. And then you're like,
That's what I'm loving about Forza right now.
And that's it, man. You spend the next hour just like, I've got to make sure that I take that spot back. So there's that sense of sort of multiplayer. You're always just trying to beat your buddy's score, and you can see their ghost, but there's no, I guess you say, like, real head-to-head going on.
Oh, you can see their ghost? That's cool.
Yeah.
It's knowing that game, it's probably like an actual ghost with some kind of like other storyline going on.
It's some squirrel nonsense.
There's just all that.
Wish I could say, but yeah, that's what I've been playing mostly. A little bit of Forza, a little bit of 2K, but mostly just pounding through trials, trying to get all those medals right now.
Well, that's a good segue because I've been playing Forza. I'm not Abdallah. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name because I
do it.
I can't.
It's a trap.
The lovely gentleman who provided the code for the giveaway today, I like jokingly said, "Oh, dude, that's awesome. We get to give away Forza. I don't even have Forza." And then like an hour later, he was like, "Here you go." I was like, "What?" He was like, "I got another code." I was like, "Holy shit, thanks, dude." Like,
Abdallah, I'm just saying I don't personally have Forza. So.
Oh, it was really cool of him, and so I've been playing Forza this week for the first time. I played like Forza, the very first Forza on the original Xbox, or is it on the original Xbox? Yeah, the first one came out on the original Xbox, right? Anyways, I could never really get into sim racing.
Right.
And I know that Forza has been trying with each game to kind of like bridge the gap between the Gran Turismo crowd and the Need for Speed crowd. I think that's really cool. And I would say that I think Forza Horizon was probably the closest they've gone to that. You know, Forza Horizon was essentially a Need for Speed game with Forza physics and stuff. This game, though, is the most, like, best mix I've seen so far, where I'm having fun, but it's also challenging, and I'm actually tempted to try to turn the assists off and try different stuff, and I'm paying attention to every single drivatar I run into, and there are some people that I really want to like punch in the face because I'll be driving and they'll just be like, their driver's car will just come spin me out. And I'm like, fucking seriously? Like, you are now on my hit list. My job is to kill you.
But true, isn't that, like, now that you've been experiencing Forza for yourself, right? You can see even in the small time that you've been spending with it, like, how great that use of the cloud or, you know, the fucking servers or whatnot really is, though. Those drivatars change racing games. Like, it's the first racing game where I've not been playing with people properly online and genuinely felt like I'm always playing against people online. I'm not looking at this magnetic strip of cars running a perfect line in front of me. Like, people are taking corners too fast, people are spinning out, they're aggressive, they're unpredictable. And sometimes I'm like, fuck you, buddy. But at the same time, like, I guarantee you my drivatar is, like, annoying some people as well. And it's just, like, I love that unpredictable new AI to it, man. It's fucking phenomenal.
Now, I saw someone on the group say GT is better.
Yeah, so that guy specifically is really into PlayStation. But I can understand coming from, like, I played the first Gran Turismo when it first came out. I get why people love Gran Turismo because it gives you, like, they give you a different flavor of things.
Yeah,
they're like, hey, every single car you can imagine is in this fucking game. Like, I think that's the appeal of Gran Turismo is for, like, the people who want to play their car. You know what I mean? Whereas
it's not a great driving simulator, though.
I think it was, but here's the biggest part now is that, like, the big argument that people have against Forza 5 right now is the limited tracks and the limited amount of cars and such. Yeah. That being said, though, they've taken that whole, like, you know, quality over quantity seriously, and, like, if you look at Gran Turismo 6, like, yes, it's got so many tracks, so many fucking cars. Yeah. 70% of those cars look like shit. All the tracks that are being upgraded are still like the original models, basically from PS1. Though, no, this is. Well,
it's got a legacy. It's got a legacy to kind of carry with it, though.
But that's what Forza was doing. It was a newer franchise in a sense. They were building a little bit slower, but they said, you know what? We're not gonna. It's a new generation. We're setting a new standard. Everything was rebuilt. Every single track was rebuilt, laser scanned to perfection. It's within a centimeter.
You're gonna have less at that point because you're raising
exactly.
the bar.
And that's exactly what it is. Turn 10 said, you know what? It's not. We're going into a new generation, and we want to give racing fans the best. So we're not going to recycle anything because those tracks aren't right. And if you go back and look at the tracks in Gran Turismo 1, the numbers are great, but most of those tracks are like so fucking inaccurate. And if you were a really true racing fan, you would say, forget that shit anymore. Like Turn 10, raising the bar. perfect
so
tracks.
Not to turn this into like an argument about, because I think the interesting thing about these games is they're both exclusives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no, like, short of what Need for Speed's doing with the Shift series, there is no, like, what's the term, multi-platform, even like, especially even on PC, there is no, like, bigger, broader Call of Duty, like, massive selling simulation game.
Right.
And I think that's an interesting fact where you have, like, sim racers in general, their fans are pretty hardcore gamers, or at least hardcore gearheads. They're really devoted. They're very into and loyal to their brand, and it's interesting to set that up alongside a like console war thing where Xbox has Forza and PlayStation has Gran Turismo, and so not only do you have the Xbox versus PlayStation thing, but you also have gearheads and hardcore driver gamer fans, touting theirs as the better one. And you don't have a game that's like on both systems that is like better than both of those. You know what I mean? Like where you have.
Well, isn't there Project Cars coming out?
Well, so that is. I thought that was like an indie thing. Is that a bigger company?
Well, it is an indie thing, but it's not. Like it's weird, and
is
it's
that the one that's
both
coming to Wii U
consoles.
also?
I believe so.
That one, the tech demo of that stuff looks fucking ridiculous. Anyways, I just thought that was interesting that like. When you look at the shooters, you have like Halo and Gears and stuff like that, and then over here you have Resistance and Killzone and stuff like that. But the thing that outsells both of those is Call of Duty, where it's on every box. But with the racing sim games, there is no like Call of Duty equivalent. You have Gran Turismo is the top selling game on PlayStation, and Forza is one of the more better selling games on the Xbox. I just think that's interesting dynamic. So the other game that I was.
Sorry, I just want to have, before I just got off the Gran Turismo stuff, I just want to say for the record, like, I'm not hating on GT in the sense. Like, GT is a great game. I was a huge Gran Turismo fan.
Yeah.
Going into Gran Turismo 2 was one of my favorite racing games of all time. And then they just sort of got stuck behind times a little bit. I started to appreciate Forza a little bit more and what they were doing moving forward. And now I genuinely think on the road, in the car, on the track, Forza Motorsport 5 is the better game. It feels better. It sounds better. The cars look better. And
I'm really kind of hoping that
it just doesn't have the numbers. That's the only thing.
Sure, I'd like to see Gran Turismo take a page from what Turn 10 is doing with this cloud driver thing, and then on top of that, I'd like to see them. I just want to see what Gran Turismo looks like on a PS4. I think it's going to look amazing. So
it will be stunning.
Yeah, I think that Forza has definitely set the bar pretty high as far as quality. And yeah, somebody said they prefer quality over quantity. I think it is just a preference. Like somebody has probably been playing Gran Turismo since day one and has been able to find that one car that they owned like 20 years ago. They've been able to use that car in every game forever. And then
I want to know 3 Focus.
Yeah. Well, I want to get my 2012 GTI, and I don't see it. I have to get the Golf R instead, but it's whatever. Anyways,
I totally go ahead. Yeah, let's move on. Go on.
The other game that I really wanted to touch on that I played this week was I played the shit out of Borderlands 2 with CJ, and that was the first time I've ever played with 4 people, man. That was so cool. Like
that's the first time I've ever really played a Borderlands.
Yeah.
Like extensively.
Yeah. Well,
like I played the first one for maybe 2 hours, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? Enough of this. I've had enough. Yeah. And I didn't really know that like co-op was where the fun was.
Yeah, we found out that you were doing it wrong, right? And see, the only co-op that I've ever done was with like one other person, and I think I did a lot of split screen co-op, which is terrible on that game. The thing that got me though this week was
don't tell me it's up and down. That's silly.
No, it's sideways, but it's weird. Like your inventory doesn't fit all the way onto the screen. You have to like turn your camera over to see the rest of the. It's fucking weird. But the reason I brought up that I was playing Borderlands is I've pulled out my 360 out of the mothballs, and I am playing almost primarily on my 360 right now. Like I play Elder Scrolls Online and Diablo 3 on my laptop, and then I play Halo 4, Far Cry 3, and Borderlands 2. So like that's my week, and I've actually set up like a fucking calendar because I'm like I got too many games I need to be playing right now. And
your stream schedule?
Yeah, it's not even. Unfortunately, it's not a stream schedule because I can't stream my 360 stuff yet, unless somebody wants to buy me an Elgato. No.
That's
Oh,
what I'm going
damn.
to be looking at in the near future. Is getting that set up.
But now I have I have all of a sudden decided to pull all these games out because you've got me all excited for all these games again. That I have like a game schedule this week now. Like today I was supposed to be playing either Borderlands 2 or Diablo. I think I mixed it up on my calendar, but I was at an Easter thing. But like I have like date night with my wife on Mondays is Diablo 3 because she loves Diablo. Yeah. And then like Halo 4 on Fridays. Actually, let me just put this out here before we move on. I play Halo 4 every Friday night from now on around this time every Friday night. So anybody is welcome to come join me. I'll play campaign, Spartan Ops, multiplayer, whatever. I could really use somebody to share a bunch of files with because I have like no maps and no cool game types or anything for game nights. But I really want to put that out there for anybody who wants to get back into it and start playing again. I'm all over my 360 for some fucking reason, other than Forza. So yeah, so that is. Let me look at what everybody's talking about. Great, people are talking. No, people are arguing. Fantastic.
Don't argue.
Set it on fire.
That's what we've been talking about and playing this week. Let's move into news real quick. A lot of crazy shit happened. We can touch on these sales numbers if you guys want to. Sean suggested talking about the fact that the PlayStation sold over 7 million units in March. I don't really know what else to say about that. Like, I didn't know if you guys wanted to get into a discussion about that.
There's nothing really to say. I mean, in comparing the numbers like of sales like between Xbox One and PS4, we have to remember the country difference.
Yeah, the market, they're in like triple the markets that the Xbox One is in. So.
There's one thing I wanted to ask too, is that maybe you guys can clarify, because I saw 2 articles that said the sales numbers weren't actually sales to customers. They
might not be. I mean, let's say they're a million.
Hang on. Yeah, they were sales to retailers, and it was just the phrasing where Sony was saying that they were selling through those, and it is customers.
The numbers for Sony is 7 million to customers. But the other number that came out was 5 million from Xbox, but that is only to retailers.
Yes.
So that's the disparaging. But so I don't really care about this stuff. Like, I don't care about sales numbers. No. I don't care about who outsold what, especially considering these boxes have only been out for a few months.
Right. Yeah, it's super early.
You know what I mean?
Super early, but I will say, like, man, hats off to Sony, like, coming off of like last generation. I mean, they sort of Microsoft really kind of. It's funny looking back on it because it's sort of. I don't really know if it was Sony really doing anything great. I don't think they were doing anything great. I think Microsoft really kind of fucking tripped themselves up, and it was sort of Sony took advantage of that situation really, and everybody sort of jumped on board, and it was great. I mean, not in a bad way. I think Sony did the fucking like right thing and totally like nailed it on that sense. But Microsoft, like, they fucked up that reveal so bad before E3. Like, they just shot themselves in the foot, and everybody was just like, "What are you doing?"
It was just good timing. It was good timing for Sony to pounce on that, right?
Totally.
And to really capitalize on the message of everything.
No,
the message is really easy to sell too. It's like, hey, we're cheaper, and we're gonna do that thing that they're trying to say they're not gonna do with the used games and blah blah. And that was like all they had to do.
Yeah.
But some notes that I took here when I was trying to prepare for this was, so I think we can all agree it's too early to really tell if this matters in the long run.
Right.
B, I'm really curious if this is going to keep up for Sony. Sony they're not new to success. They know how to be successful, but they also know how to totally pull what we just watched Microsoft do and shoot themselves in the foot. So there's still potential for them to do that, but I think it's interesting to point out that it's been calculated that they're actually on point. They're ahead of the curve for the Wii sales. And that's really impressive to me.
Right.
Like the Wii came off and sold faster than fucking anything, and now the PS4 is selling that fast. And I think it's cool, but I think with the Wii, people didn't care about buying a Wii and then not playing it because so many people bought the Wii that they just like all these people who aren't gamers bought the Wii.
Right. Yeah, my mom bought a Wii, man.
Exactly. She didn't run out and buy like 6 more games with it, and I think that's the important part. They say that the thing that makes business and makes money off of a console is when you start buying games. Right. And you get all these games when you buy a PS4 because they have so many free-to-play games and stuff, but Sony needs you to buy games, and they need games for you to buy games. And at the moment, I don't know.
They need
other
AAA games.
Yeah,
Let's clarify. Like they have indie titles. Don't like sure.
But those AAAs, it'll be interesting to see how the momentum rolls after E3 because they've been out in the wild now.
See what they come out with.
Yeah,
and it's a big show for both of them, and we kind of can guess at what Microsoft's going to show, and we know some other games that are coming this year from them that they'll probably show, like Sunset Overdrive and hopefully Quantum Break will make this year, and whatever they're doing with Halo, and we'll probably see the Forza Horizon 2 and maybe Banjo and Crackdown, who knows? But sure. Sony, man, have been so fucking quiet. Like, all they really need to do is show a little bit of Uncharted 4 running an engine because you know Naughty Dog is going to like take advantage of that hardware like nothing we've seen so far.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do that though because they already have Last of Us coming to the PS4, so they can promote that instead, be cheaper.
Yeah, but that's already had like I mean, we all know it's coming, and then. Sure. That game was one of Sony PS3's best sellers, and I think Uncharted 4 is obviously not coming this year. No. I don't think Sony has much to come this year at all, and that's like one of the reasons where it's like, oh god, like let's have this great remastered version of Last of Us come. Yeah. I think that's a sign that they really don't have much coming this year. But it's all about what's going to come in the future, and that will move Xboxes and PlayStations as well. If you see like, holy shit, like I'm on the fence, this is coming a little bit later. Right. It's going to be these. I want to see these games at E3 because I think it can go either way.
Sure. So what were you going to say, CJ?
So my question is, okay, you said where are Sony's games, and I agree. And I want to know how many are going to be launching this year, because didn't Microsoft say at E3 last year that they have like 15?
Yeah. And Sony said we got 246 games being developed for the PS4. But then you were like, oh, so it's like all these indie titles that are being developed.
Right.
So where are the big ones?
E3 is going to tell a lot of what's going to happen this year.
Absolutely.
I think Sony will show a lot, man. I think they really will. I think they kind of have to in a way, even though they know like most of what they're going to show isn't coming this year, if at all. Well, I think we're going to see something. I think we'll see like whatever fucking Santa Monica's doing properly. I think we'll get just a taste, even if it's just a tiny like 1 minute vertical slice of something from Uncharted, just to say, hey guys, this is the engine. Like
we could see them come out and do a teaser of Gran Turismo 7, and then they might say like coming soon, which could be like 2015, 2016 or something like that.
I want to know what games are coming 2014.
So I think that we're going to be doing it, obviously, next month is going to be all about talking about prepping up for E3. I think we'll be talking about more predictions for that. But I think one more thing that I want to talk about for this sales thing before we move on to the next piece is actually two things. So it's like one big thing. These numbers, these sales of these next-gen consoles are unprecedented just already. Even for the Xbox, even for this $500 console, it's still selling really, really well. Right. It just happens to be that its competitor is like fucking blowing things out the water.
Yeah, so, it drives me insane when people are like, the Xbox One's like failing. It's like, give me a break.
That's not my point. My point is like this is a really crazy launch to a new generation, and I think that's due to two things. I think that's one, more and more gaming is becoming more widely accepted, not just because it's doing different things or going for a casual audience, but it's because our generation's growing up and having kids, and so we're buying shit for our kids, and so video games are a thing that more and more people have grown up with and is just part of our culture. The medium is getting into its out of its infancy and out of its awkward teenage years, and now it's becoming more of a young adult type thing where it knows what it's doing. It's an industry that's really starting to grow and mature and become just a wider known thing where as fans we can't wrap our arms around gaming and say like you're not a gamer if blah blah blah, because video gaming has become so big that you don't see people who read books and say like you're not a book reader unless you read these authors. Like that's not how that shit works at that point. So I think that gaming is starting to reach into that area, that size, and then along with that, this last generation just happened to be the longest video game generation of all time, or console generation ever, and so gamers are ready, and like people are ready to get that new shit. And so, we're getting 7 and fucking 5 million consoles sold. Like both of them, I think, have already outsold the Wii U. Maybe, could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I think it's all good. I think this is all great stuff. This is
Well,
all.
and you also have the people
great for
that
everybody.
just skipped the 360 PS3 generation. Like I have
very
a couple
possible,
buddies.
yeah.
I have a couple buddies that haven't
PS2 had
upgraded since
long legs.
PS2. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so moving on, we're gonna. I guess we could talk about. Hey guys, Titanfall sold a bunch of copies.
Did they release numbers?
I didn't get a number, but it was the #1 selling game in North America in March.
Does anybody know how? Is there numbers on how much Infamous sold? How many did we get?
No, I didn't see that. Somebody's putting up. Okay, that's pre-order. I don't know what's going on. Whole conversation going over here that I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I saw that it was the best-selling game, but
yeah, I haven't seen official numbers. Again, mostly because I don't care. But
Right.
I do think that both of those games had expectations that were well above what is reasonable, and it sounds like Infamous did well, but I don't want to say disappointed, but I think it underwhelmed some people as far as what is clearly capable, like possible of that they're achieving on that box. Like they could do a lot more than what happened with Infamous Second Son. And then I think with Titanfall, a lot of people felt like, hey, this is a really great game, but it feels like there could be more here. So it's kind of a similar trend going on with these first waves of big hits. But looking at the last generation, it wasn't until like Gears of War and Oblivion and God of War 3 and stuff that didn't happen at the beginning of the franchise or at the console generation, but a year or two in before we really started seeing stuff that just blew our minds away. So I'm not surprised that this didn't like set everything on fire, but it's doing good. So those are game sales. That's cool. The big thing that the two big stories that I wanted to talk about this week was Marty O'Donnell getting fired, because what the fuck, and then Batman Assault on Arkham I thought was an interesting thing that popped up. So what do you guys want to talk about first? I'll leave it up to you.
Well, wait, what did the co-op? Are we dropping co-op couch thing?
Yeah, what happened to
we're
that?
We're still in news, kind of.
All right.
It's still
I
kinda
just
news.
didn't hear it get brought up there. And I was like,
yeah, couch co-op. We're gonna keep going after that. So what do you want to talk about?
what was the first thing?
Marty O'Donnell.
All right, well, let's go with
Have
Marty.
at it.
I'll chime in with Marty. Just that, you're gonna have the most to say, so I'm really
Sure.
here to hear what your thoughts on it are.
I don't
in
want to
depth.
talk too much though, so I wanted somebody else to say something.
No, but you're the big Halo fan in the group, and I dabble in Halo and I enjoy it. But even as like a more casual Halo fan, the soundtracks to me always stood out. Marty's work I thought was always fucking great work, and I mean the Halo theme itself is just so fucking recognizable that I'm not even gonna try and hum it right now because I'll destroy it. But you guys know the piece of music that I'm talking about.
Yes.
And I'm just surprised that after so many years, the music was a huge key part to what that Halo game series was. And would the series have been as successful with another composer? I mean, maybe we have no idea. What we got was Marty, and what he created was, arguably two of the best game soundtracks ever made in Halo 1 and 2. And he's done great work on everything else as well. Even playing Reach, I thought there was fucking great music in that game. And to see him go after 15 years, and all I know of it is seeing his tweet that he was sort of let go without cause. And then that one little 3-sentence blurb from Bungie, which admittedly, when I first read it, I was a little tired, and I took it a little bit.
That was so funny. You were like, "These motherfuckers!" I was like, "Whoa, dude!
Yeah,
What did you read?"
Basically saying
We
they're
read the same
thing. Yeah, no, but I totally just misread it. It was late at night. But even that being said, going back, I just because I haven't seen them say anything else public since then, a better response, and I just thought it was a cheap, shitty little 3-line thing that anybody with any heart could have written something better in a few seconds, and then combine that with his tweet that, hey, I've just been let go without cause, and I'm just kind of what the fuck is going on?
It painted a weird picture, and I think it really frustrated people to hear him come out and say, I got fired, I don't know why, and then they're like, hey, we let Marty go, we're really sad to see him go, we're all gonna be buddies, it's all good.
There was just something weird.
That's two very different tones, you know what I mean? If they fire, but see, if they did fire him and there was something going on, I don't really know. I saw some more. So they put out the weekly update. Deej, the community manager at Bungie, put out the weekly update the day or two later. They did it on Friday, and one of the things that he he danced around the topic. He was like, some stuff, blah blah blah. He said something to the effect of, "It's in some cases silence is the best, the best response. Like it's the only like." Good way of saying like, hey, we can't really, we're just not going to talk about this. It's probably a business thing. It's probably something related to, things that we can't relate to because we don't fucking even work there. We don't have any insight into how things operate in there.
Well, that's the thing though. Them just saying that like, sometimes silence is golden, or this is the better way to go about it. It makes again just like adds fuel to the fire that like. Something that they can't just easily talk about and say like what's going on. Something maybe a little bit more personal and like.
Yeah, there probably was something that was like, hey, it's just not something that we need to talk about in public, and that is fine. I totally respect that. I understand that, and at this point, as a fan, I really I see this as a really weird situation, and it was kind of shitty how it all went down. But at this point, I'm not one to save Marty, hashtag save Marty, and all this shit. Like kids on the internet are like, if we sign a petition, maybe Marty will get his job back. And it's like, that's not how business works.
Hashtag free Marty.
Yeah, free Marty. Like, no, Marty's free now. He can do whatever the hell he wants, and the guy's got a golden ticket.
He can go work for 343.
He could go work anywhere. Look at what happened with Amy Hennig. She got let go from Uncharted, and what did she do? Oh, I don't know, creative director of the next Star Wars game.
What if he goes there?
Darn, what a poor her. Like, no, this could work out to be really beneficial for him. Everybody's running around saying he should go work for 343. As a fan of Halo and Bungie and Destiny and Marty and everything, I just don't see that happening. I don't see him getting excited for that because I think he's happy to be. I think he's happy with the work that he had, his body of work for Halo, and I don't see him creatively just finding that to be a fulfilling thing, to go back to the thing that made you famous after putting probably his heart and soul into Destiny. Right. And I'm sure we're going to be blown away by all the work that he put there. Like, honestly, I could just see him go anywhere or just do his own thing right now.
He's going to go work on that Star Wars project.
That would be awesome. That would be fucking awesome. So, ultimately, Marty's work, yes. Everything you said about being the heart and soul of Halo, I would completely agree. I've talked previously about the. I think when we talked a little bit about video game soundtracks, like Star Wars was screened without music, and then they put the music in, and it was a totally different experience, and everybody agreed. I think Marty O'Donnell's music specifically gave Halo a lot of the heart and soul that it has, a lot of the drama that it has, and helped tell the story that it wanted to tell. And I think Halo's doing well with the music that it has now. Musical tastes aside, I think it's really effective. I'm actually playing back through the campaign over the last couple weeks. I haven't touched the campaign since I completed it in 2011, and it's great. It's really, really great. It really sells the moments that are touching, powerful, emotional moments, and then it really pumps you up for the fucking firefights and crazy shit that's happening on screen. So it does well, but it doesn't have that that's something special that Marty had, but that's okay. It still does a good job. So the other thing I want to talk about on news before we wrap it up and move on to Couch Co-op. Is Batman Assault on Arkham. I thought CJ would come in here like, guys, Batman, because, No,
Batman. I'm a huge Batman fan. I don't know what this is. Like,
did you watch it? Did you watch the trailer?
No, yeah. Oh, no, of course I did. No, in relation to the Arkham series,
I thought you were pulling a Sean.
Like, I don't know who this is for. I'd rather it be a game.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it's so.
Because I want to go against the Suicide.
The Suicide.
Yeah, Suicide 6.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Suicide Squad. He's mixing.
I'm mixing Marvel and
Sinister,
yeah. Sinister 6 and.
Well, so
bad.
I thought what was interesting here. So if you don't know, Batman Assault on Arkham had a trailer come out this weekend. It's a mini. It's a film. It's a animated film that's coming to Blu-ray and stuff. It's essentially a Batman story told in the Arkham universe, the
Right.
Arkham universe of Arkham Asylum, and it's just a one-off from what I understand. And you have the Suicide Squad, which is people.
Yeah,
Is it
I don't
Deadshot?
remember exactly. That's
All right. Well, is the Suicide Squad a big thing, or is it just something that's happened a couple times?
for a lot of people, it's a big thing.
Okay.
Not to me though. I'm more like old school Batman, like
Yeah.
Scarecrow, like animated series. Give me that.
Okay. Well, so what I thought was interesting here is that this is an animated film, and I'm excited for that because it seems like with DC, the animated films are actually like way better than their actual movies.
Oh yeah.
Like, which is just weird. I don't understand how they keep doing this. You know, all the animated Batman movies that happened around the time of the sequels to Tim Burton's Batman classics, like Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, were not bad, but they were bad by movie standards. And then at the same time, you had this like fantastic animated series and all these like Under the Red Hood and the Phantasm or whatever the fucking
Mask of the Phantasm was good, man.
Yeah, those things were amazing. Those were better than the movies. Don't give me that look.
Did you just say Batman and Robin was not bad?
I mean, it was bad. Yeah.
Okay.
George
Thank
Clooney
you.
he had nipples. What? But I'm saying like if somebody enjoyed that shit, like I enjoyed it when I was a kid. You know, those movies like Jim Carrey as the Riddler and all that stuff. Like I thought that was funny. But as looking back as like works of art from the Batman franchise, not so great. But then you have all these animated films that are fantastic. So I think it's funny that you have this Arkham animated film coming out.
This is the best thing that has come from Batman and Robin. This glass.
So if you don't see, CJ is enjoying some lovely beverages from his
Water.
McDonald's
It's just
Batman. Water. It's just water. It's vodka flavored water, dude. Anyways, I thought that was cool. And Troy Baker's still the Joker. Right, so I think that's still... Wait, was Kevin Conroy replaced in Arkham Origins?
Yeah, well, not replaced. It's because he was working on Arkham Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So is he... Do we know, is Kevin Conroy Batman in this thing? Not a lot of details around for this.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy is Batman in this new animated movie.
Okay.
But Hamill is not the Joker, correct?
Right,
No.
so that's what I heard, and that's what was on the video that I watched, and I don't know where that guy's intel came from, but sure.
Okay.
Plus, I think if he was the Joker, I think the internet would be on fire with like, Mark Hamill lied, and he's the Joker now. I think this is cool for a couple of reasons, though. You have a film based on Batman, but based on the video game property of Batman,
Right.
which really just speaks to the level of quality that people respect for the Arkham series. That's a good sign, right? I think that's great. I think that speaks to Warner Brothers seeing, and well, in DC, seeing that the Arkham verse is something that they want to get more play out of, so they're going to make a film, and I think it'd be interesting to see if they take the Arkham series or Arkham world and just continue on with that. Like, have there been any Arkham comics, like any comic series that are based out of the Arkham games?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure on that though.
If you're wrong, I'm going to kill you. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's good enough for me.
Anyway, I think the movie looks pretty cool though myself. Like I'm a big animation fan. I thought the animation looked pretty solid. I like the style of it.
It reminded me of Spawn for some reason.
Anything with Kevin Conroy playing Batman I love, because I was a big fan of the animated series of the 90s as well. Mask of the Phantasm, of course. I think it's one of the best Batman movies ever made, actually.
Yeah.
I'm stoked to see it, personally. I don't know the Suicide Squad all that well. I know the animated movie is supposed to take place between Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, so I'm curious to see how that ties everybody together and how that wraps up properly.
Yeah.
I'm also curious to see Mark Hamill replaced with Troy Baker, because I didn't get to hear Troy Baker's Joker very much. I didn't play through Origins. I was just no Paul Dini was writing it, Rocksteady wasn't developing it, Hamill wasn't back as Joker, Conroy wasn't Batman. I just was like, man.
I want nothing to do with this.
It just didn't feel like it was part of what I was playing, and I was like,
it's interesting that you point out, all of those changes for Arkham Origins. I thought it was. I was listening to the Batman Arkham Knight Game Informer show, the special edition podcast that they did because they debuted the game on their like February cover or something like that, and so they were talking about their time at Rocksteady and interviewing those guys, and they said that it was really funny the way that they were talking about this game as being the final game in the Arkham trilogy.
Yeah, well, even before they were doing that interview, that's how I was referring to it to people. It was just sort of like, that's what it is, and that's what it was. Like, I wrote an article for Kids World before those interviews came out about the Arkham City Screams that leaked or whatever. Before that interview I had heard, and that's how I was referring to it in the exact same fucking way. You know, it's going to be the end to the Arkham trilogy created by Rocksteady Games. I just never looked at Origins as part of that thing. I mean, it had none of the key creative people involved, different developers on top of that.
It was a good game, though.
It was like a spin-off, right? I mean, it could be like viewed as a spin-off, right?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And Troy Baker as the Joker, really good.
I actually kind of hope. I actually want to see Arkham Origins ported to next-gen consoles because I still want to play it, but I heard that there were a lot of technical issues with the original version, and I would like to see this cleaned up. And I mean, if Tomb Raider was good enough to port up to the Xbox One, I feel like Arkham Origins should be also.
Here's the only problem. No. Here's the only problem. They with all the bugs in this game. Who is it? WB Montreal or something like that? Who made it?
They said, "Fuck you."
They said, "No, we're done fixing the bugs. We're gonna focus on DLC now."
Well, then
fuck you guys.
It's not just that. It was like
DLC
Tomb Raider.
Nobody wants.
Tomb Raider being up-ported, which that version of the game looks fantastic. It wasn't competing, with a new
Tomb Raider 2.
Ground up. Like,
you're right.
Put out Origins upgraded, and then all of a sudden, like, Arkham Knight drops, and that's built on next gen. And Origins is just, no matter how much like love they try and put into it, it's gonna look like such a turd.
As soon as I said that, I thought about that. I was like, when the fuck would it release? Like that. Well, if Arkham Knight wasn't coming this year, well, since we're talking about DC, in Bizarro World where Arkham Knight isn't happening, then I would love to grab a next gen version of Arkham Origins. But it sounds like.
Fuck that, I'd rather have a next-gen version of Asylum and Arkham City wrapped up. And then if they want to include Origins on it, then go for it.
Yeah. the Arkham 2.5.
Just throw it in there.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, like they don't even put it on the box. It's just in there. All right,
just take that.
I got 8 minutes, and I got to bounce for Easter dinner sharply.
God damn it. All right, well, Couch Co-op. I wanted to talk about everybody's favorite or the best couch co-op game. So, Rory, since you got to leave soon, tell me why Smash Brothers is the best couch co-op game, because I'm assuming that's what you're going to say.
No, I wish I could. I enjoy Smash Brothers. I'm looking forward to getting the new one. N64 had some great ones. For me, if I was going to pick an N64 game, I would definitely go GoldenEye or Super Mario Kart 64. Those would be my favorite. One of my favorite couch co-ops was Power Stone on the Dreamcast. 4-player, like
isometric. I've never played it. What is it?
Ah, man, so good. It's like it's a 4-player, everybody for himself sort of 3/4 isometric view of the battlefield, and you can you fight for gems, and then the gems upgrade you into super form, and you can use parts of the environment, like throw crates and shit. It's fucking crazy. Just look up a video of it. It's pretty wild.
That sounds cool.
And what? I'm trying to think like more modern stuff. I would probably say no, fuck it. I'm just gonna leave it short and simple. Those were my favorites, unless I can I'm totally brain warping on something. But GoldenEye 64, hands down. Just thinking about all those times, everybody squeezed in the corner, no screen looking, you asshole, and people picking Odd Job and crouching around, being all cheap. Just, oh, man, playing in the temple, man. Oh, I love that game.
Dude, remember the stacks? Was it the stacks or the catacombs or, oh, man, something
I don't remember the titles of all of them, man.
Yeah. With the hidden areas, you'd walk, the door was hidden and you could
that was the one I'm thinking of, the temple, I think, man, where it had, those, little doors and the long corridors and stuff, and you'd end up, spacing up and going into the side little area looking down, and... I'm telling you, when I get a capture card going and upgrade my PC properly, I'm gonna have on the show GoldenEye tournaments and all kinds of shit like that. No question, man.
Sweet. So what about you, CJ? Couch co-op.
Okay, so recently, I'll have to say on the Wii, New Super Mario Brothers. That was a boatload of fun.
Now, New Super Mario Brothers U or the
The one for
Mario,
Wii,
Super
not
Mario
Wii U.
3D World. Oh, okay, just for the Wii. Okay.
Yeah. No, the regular Wii,
Okay.
not the Ultra HD version.
So you like
It comes with a tablet.
that you don't want. So the one where you would just like everybody would just punish the shit out of each other.
Yes, I love that. Like Rayman Legends, like love it.
Yeah.
I love punishing my friends. Battle Block Theater, another great one.
Huh.
What else? Mario Party, any of them?
All of them? Really?
Yeah, any Mario Kart, give me them all.
Okay. So mostly Mario and Nintendo stuff still.
Yeah, Nintendo stuff for co-op, for like couch stuff, really good. I really hope Microsoft focuses on that, and I honestly think that Phil wants to.
So today when I was at the Easter thing, I was with a ton of people who just could give no fucks about video games.
Right.
And I went down to the little like pad room where all the guys got together to like have some beer and talk and get away from the ladies, and I saw a 360 and a PS3, and I was like, "Oh, where's your next gen console, man?" Because I knew he didn't give a shit.
Right.
And he was like, "Honestly, I hate the fact that the focus is, hey, real quick, Rory, when you gotta go, just let me know."
Yeah, it's okay. I was gonna say too. I was thinking about your question about the all my games are really like couch co-op multiplayer games, not really co-op. But whatever. Those are my still. I stand by my picks. Continue.
No, it's the same concept. So. He was saying that the focus is on online multiplayer, and that's not really his bag. He wants people together at his house to play video games with, and I would agree with that. I think that is definitely still a thing that adults want to do. You know, even that when we were kids, that was all you could do, so that was all we did. And now, as adults, playing online is really cool, especially going through things like our generation went through phases like college, or when I was in the Army, the barracks and stuff like that. Playing online together and being able to like run down the hall and be like, dude, what the fuck, you know, all that stuff, or like playing with people on the other side of campus, stuff like that. That was really cool. But I think now that the sheen has worn off of the concept of online gaming, I think you'll see this trend start to come back, a desire for couch co-op and online, and not only for that, for people who want to play with their kids. You know, I got a buddy who plays like Minecraft and
that's another one.
Skylanders and Disney Infinity, and damn, there was something else that he plays with his kids. But he plays with them, you know, there, and they pass the controller around and stuff. You need to have those games. And even though I see that, you know, somebody could consider, like, in Capital City Gamers Forum, you know, we have one person who's really hardcore about Nintendo, the Wii U, and she won't hear anybody talk shit about the Wii U because she wants online or on the couch playing with each other, couch co-op or couch multiplayer, or whatever it is.
On the couch?
Yeah, she likes that. No, and she says that that's like forward thinking of them. But I don't think it is. I think they've just been stuck.
They're just stuck with what they know.
Terrified of the internet, and now that everybody else has like done the internet and needs to kind of focus back on this thing, they just happen to still be in the same place. So they're satisfying a niche that is now starting to become a bigger want. And you're gonna see stuff, you know, like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart come out, and people are gonna love that. But see, I think we're gonna see more of that for two reasons. One, it's easier for an indie dev to develop a couch co-op game than it is for them to worry about netcode and, you know, having a multiplayer element. And two, it's better now with a bigger screen, and most people have bigger screens to play same screen stuff than it was a few years ago when the 360 and the PS3 first came out, when everybody's TV screens were like 27, 30 inches instead of like 50, 60 inches and stuff like that. I'm not saying that everybody has that, but I think that's more of an easily accessible thing with Vizio and everybody coming out with the cheaper LCD TVs. So all of those things mixed together means that I just kind of feel like couch co-op is going to be more of a thing. You know, maybe not the way that we had it before, but just in new and different ways. If anybody's played Nidhogg, or you PlayStation 4 owners are playing Towerfall Ascension, the game that was really big on the Ouya, and then they were like, hey, nobody plays the Ouya, maybe we should go over here.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Towerfall, the Ouya?
No. Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's the Ouya.
The Ouya?
The Ouya?
The Ouya. The Ouya. The Ouya.
It's the Ouya.
The Ouya.
All right, gentlemen, I got to bounce. Easter dinner. Girlfriend's mom's, you know, making food, so I got to bounce out.
Enjoy the food.
Do your thing, man.
Right here. But you guys, have a great end of the show.
Oh, I
and
was going to eat a piece of ham, but I forgot
I
it.
was going to say good luck to whoever, if somebody wins the prize later when you get that's the trivia. Good luck and early congratulations. Early congrats. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening.
Thanks for joining us, Rory. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, later.
Let me just boot him out of here.
No.
Now, I want a caveat though. I do love couch co-op, but at the same time, I don't want them to take the ability away from me to be able to play that with my friends.
Absolutely.
So like Rayman Legends, Trials Fusion, like the thing that kills me about them is I can't play with my friends. Power Star Golf is another one of them.
Yeah, but
like I can play with my friends on my couch, fine, but
one of the things that, like, I heard somebody say, like, why can't I play Battlefield 4 with 4-player split-screen co-op? And I'm like, that would look fucking terrible, first of all. Second of all, that now you're talking about limitations on the hardware and the development of the game that you just don't want to put that on. Like, playing split-screen Borderlands, to try it sometime, it's not really that great. But I think couch co-op is going to be a thing that we're going to see come back. So I'll be excited for that. For me personally, my favorite couch co-op games were the original Halo, untouchable, just completely untouchable. I think that was the biggest complaint about Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary was that you couldn't have same screen split screen 4-player co-op. I think everybody was totally pissed about that because that was playing Blood Gulch with 4 people running around, that's the best. But then on top of that, more recently, Castle Crashers. Holy shit, that game is so good.
That game's fun.
You get a bunch of people over, get everybody drunk, and play the fuck out of some Castle Crashers. That game is awesome.
See, that's the perfect example. That's a great couch co-op, but I could also play that with my friends online.
Yes, I think Castle Crashers is probably one of the most perfect examples of something that you can play on the same screen, or you can play on like everybody mimic that, please. That is a fucking fantastic game.
Well, same with Battle Block Theater.
Yeah, it's the same guys, right?
Yeah.
Behemoth.
Ooh,
so I
have to say because someone said it in the chat thread. Ouya chaka, ouya chaka.
Dude, that's so goofy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mark.
Yeah. Ouya is so goofy. That's such a weird. Like we thought we heard the goofiest.
I don't even know it. I really don't know anything about it. I assume it's like an Android game.
It is. It's $100 Android box. It's about this big.
Oh, cool.
It comes with a really cheap ass shitty controller. But the big deal with Ouya was that it was kickstarted. Like it was completely kickstarted. And then you can go buy one at GameStop.
Well, that's pretty cool.
But it's about to be completely irrelevant because Amazon's releasing pretty much the same product, but it'll have Amazon's name on it, so nobody's gonna want to know.
Now, speaking of which, did I see that they're getting AAA games as well on that thing? No, right?
They're shooting for AAA experiences, but no, you're not gonna see like Call of Duty on because it's Android. And
that's what I thought.
It's the even if it had some pretty good specs, I just don't see those guys developing a quote-unquote AAA game. Like, you're not going to see Assassin's Creed on the Kindle, the Fire TV or whatever. I'm pretty sure. So, all right. I think that's wrapping up the show. We can go ahead and launch into this this question.
Fuck you, Activision. Fuck you, Beanox.
I don't know what.
I want Spider-Man.
What's happening in the world? Okay. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
I do. I want to snap out about that a little bit.
Well, so first of all, I asked everyone multiple times over the last 48 hours, like, hey, if you have any topics, just let me know and I'll put them in the thing.
I told you in the chat.
Did you?
That I'm just gonna jam it in somewhere.
Oh, I thought you meant you were gonna talk about that during the Batman stuff.
Oh no! I'm extremely pissed off that I can't play Spider-Man.
So real quick, just letting everybody know what we're going to talk about real quick is CJ's rage facing over the fact that his most anticipated game
of 2014
was recently announced to not be coming to Xbox One, but I don't think that's not exactly confirmed. They haven't. There's a rumor that it's not being developed for Xbox One, but I think they said that they've only said that it's coming to X, Y, and Z, and they keep leaving off Xbox One, and so people ask, does that mean it's not coming to the Xbox One? And then they say, we're really excited to be putting it out on, and then they list all the other consoles except for the Xbox One. So what the fuck?
I'm pretty sure that I saw that they tweeted that the Xbox One version will be running at 1080p 30 frames per second, And then
That sounds familiar, yeah.
And then like literally like 2 days later or whatever it was, maybe a week, it's no longer coming to the Xbox One. Maybe.
That makes no sense.
We're not sure. I don't know what happened, and there's no way that it could be anything Microsoft related. And I don't know why they need their help with it.
Yeah.
And fuck Activision.
It makes no
hate
sense.
Call of Duty, and now I hate them more.
Wait, we didn't say. So we're talking about Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yes, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the game.
Not the
movie.
Your most anticipated game of the year.
No, but I mean, I don't know. I saw the trailer for it, and like, there's like really nothing out right now.
Sure.
And I was like, this is awesome. Like, I really loved Spider-Man 2, and that's what it reminded me of.
Wait, when's it supposed to be out?
Yesterday, maybe.
Cool. Okay, sure. Saturday.
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Like in the next couple weeks, maybe, or something?
A date. Words.
Okay, cool. All right, so if you're listening and you're not on the Facebook chat right now, well, the Facebook post, the Facebook thread, you're wrong. So we're going to give away a code for Forza 5, and the way you can get in real quick to try to do this is go to facebook.com/groups/ratedmpodcast. There's a pinned post at the top of the page. It's got a big old picture of a McLaren on it. So scroll down to the bottom there and be ready to type the answer to this in. All right, so this is a Halo-related question. So you can Google Halo. In Halo Wars, God damn it, hold on. I had a post that I wanted to pull up so I could see one of the what the actual answers would be, so I don't get them wrong. In Halo Wars, they introduced vehicles in Halo Wars that no one had ever seen before, right? So Halo Wars is the Halo RTS that was on the Xbox 360. So I want to know, just tell me any previously unseen Halo vehicle that was debuted in Halo Wars. Tell me just any of them. Just say one. Don't care.
The 29th.
Well, is that when it comes out?
Yeah. That's when it was supposed to come out.
Okay, so that's next Tuesday.
Well, okay, it's still coming out. I'm asking like the game's
in a week.
Canceled. Like, I could still play it on my 360, but I won't.
Sure. No, the game looks good. I think you should get to play it on, things that are like a next-gen console. So
I'm just gonna send Activision and Beanox just like boxes and boxes of grapes.
Okay. So post in the thread. Fucking derailing this shit. Post in the thread just any vehicle that was debuted in Halo Wars that was not. And if you just did, all right, hold on, heavy recovery.
It's a Puma.
Mark Anthony, I want to use heavy recovery vehicle, but I'm looking for something like exactly what Ben posted here. The Wolverine is.
It's a Puma.
Yeah, the Wolverine is the anti-air thing. That was actually the example I was thinking of in my head. I knew there were more, like this Cobra here, which is the vehicle that you use to attack structures. And the anti-air, the Wolverine, I think we're going to go with this. Elephant was in Halo 3, Mark. So that's a good one, though. I love the way you use the elephant in Halo Wars. All right, so Ben McPhee, congratulations, you won. I think this is the first time Ben's heard the podcast, so that's really cool. Thank you very much for joining the group and participating. William is exactly right, though. I wish I had a claptrap right here. A clap track, so I could fucking play a clap track for Ben. Ben, I'm gonna PM you the code for the Forza 5. Hopefully you don't already have it. If you do, just give it to a kid or something. Some random kid on the street who probably doesn't have an Xbox One.
Or give it to me.
Yes, give it to CJ. All right, guys. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week's show.
I'm a poor kid on the streets.
We're gonna go play Borderlands after this.
I believe so. I have to set everything back up.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pimp us out real quick. Remember, you can listen to the audio versions of these episodes. Maybe go to www.capitalcitygamers.com. We usually post some of the podcasts up there. Still working on a better solution for that, so just hang with us. Thanks for listening, everybody. I am at Drew_Freeman85 on Twitter. Mr. DJ Payday over here is at DJ Payday. No, that's your Xbox Live thing.
No, that's Twitter as well.
At DJ Payday? Sweet.
I am the DJ Payday, so it's at DJ Payday.
And the Paydays. So you can check DJ Payday out on Twitch. You can check me out on Facebook.com/DrewciferWriter. That's
Drucifer.
Yeah, Drucifer. I love that you do that. God damn it, it's going to be stuck in my head again. So we broadcast every Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern on YouTube. We're going to be trying to fix that. We're going to see if we can get on Twitch. You can keep track of us at facebook.com/group/RadioNM podcast.
Facebook.com.
Or you can just watch this on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. It's YouTube//Drucifer1998, I believe is my YouTube channel. But yeah, you'll figure it out. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you next week.